With that, we'll turn to Senator Barrasso for his questions.
Well, thanks so much, Mr. Chairman. And kind of following up with this, in terms of nuclear and uranium, the United States has 93 operating commercial nuclear reactors. We're almost completely reliant on imports of uranium to fuel the reactors. About half of that uranium comes from Russia and its allies, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan. So in 2020, Congress gave the department $75 million to establish a strategic uranium reserve. The department is yet to purchase any uranium from U.S. producers, and in light of Russia's invasion of Ukraine and our interest in sanctioning Russia, does the department now have any plans to accelerate its purchases of uranium?
Thank you, Senator Barrasso, for that question. It's certainly an urgent one today, and with this invasion, it's made all of these issues that we're having discussions in the Department of Energy even more urgent. So at this point, what we folks in NNSA as well as in the nuclear energy area are looking for other sources in which we can partner also with our allies in this area, and also different ways that we can get different sources of uranium so we're not dependent on Russia. I'd be happy to get back to you more with details on that, because it is a rapidly changing picture.
Yeah, there's a sense of urgency that we feel, and I appreciate your interest in
I'm
continuing.
happy to get back to you on that.
The next issue is the advanced nuclear reactors. They need a specific type of fuel of high-assay, low-enriched uranium. Currently, there are only two sources of high-assay, low-enriched uranium. One is Russia. The other is the Department of Energy. So unless the department acts swiftly, our advanced reactors are going to be, again, dependent upon Russia. It's the same urgency you talked about in the answering to the first question. Is the department willing to produce high-assay, low-enriched uranium and make it available for our advanced reactors?
So thank you again for that question, too. Life is changing quickly as we speak today. But we recognize that HALEU is the fuel needed for most of our reactor developers to fuel their reactors, including 9 of the 10 awards under our RDP use HALEU, like TerraPower and other demo projects. So the HALEU supply program, we realize, must address enrichment, transportation, storage, chemical conversion, and regulatory elements of the HALEU supply chain. And so the most urgent near-term needs include supporting the ARDP demonstration projects, the X-Energy and Natrium. Until recently, the prevailing assumption was that the initial cores of HALEU for both ARDP projects would be supplied by Russia, as you point out, under the provisions of the Russian Suspension Agreement administered by the Commerce Department. So NE is in partnership with NNSA programs, are exploring feasible options to address this issue, but any solution will require a substantial and sustained source of government funding on the order of provisions included in the House-passed bill, Back Better bill, with $500 million for HALEU supply, along with support from industry, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, and other stakeholders. So we're working on it.
In terms of that finance, would it be helpful if the department had the authority to use some of the money remaining in the U.S. Enrichment Corporation Fund for this purpose?
So I don't know the answer to that at this point, but I'm happy to get back to you.
Great. I want to ask about research. As Undersecretary of Science and Innovation, you oversee the Office of Science. The Office of Science oversees 10 of our 17 national laboratories. Can you tell us how many citizens of the People's Republic of China work at our national labs?
Thank you for that question. I don't actually have the number with me. I can certainly get back to you on that.
I just want to point out that according to the department, there are over 5,700 citizens of the People's Republic of China working at our U.S. national labs. Do you know whether the People's Republic of China allows citizens to have dual citizenship with the United States? They don't. It's okay. They don't. Just I'm concerned because is there any evidence to suggest that the Chinese government allows its citizens to work at our national labs without the government's prior knowledge or consent?
That is certainly a big concern to us, and one that we have been working on with other agencies also, in order to make sure that we have the strictest protocols in place in order to check who's working in our laboratory, while also not while also being careful that we're not overextending our protections and capturing people that really are completely innocent. So those are ongoing concerns, and we hope that by working with other agencies, we can develop a procedure and protocol and strategy that is across all the agencies. And so the concern that we have with regards to this being a focus on the Office of Science is that it really needs to be, it's a very serious issue, but it needs to be taken up more broadly with the other agencies, and I guarantee you that's what we're working on right now.
And just to end, and I won't really ask for your response to here, that it's just that, after our secure briefings last night and classified settings and concern about cybersecurity, it just seems to make a lot of common sense that the Secretary would go ahead and put into a position, a confirmed position, to oversee the Office of Cybersecurity in the Department of Energy.
And I can understand your concerns for that. We are also concerned about making certain that we have someone in that position that is has the qualifications to be able to carry out the duty. We believe that Push Kumar, who's in that position right now, is excellent in that area. We also are concerned about the fact that if there is, if it requires Senate confirmation, then it may delay our ability to have someone of that quality in place all the time. And so that is a concern for us. On the other hand, we know that you need to be able to question whether you think the person is doing the job and able to do that job, and we believe that you have mechanisms to be able to do that without having to be confirmed. So our choice would be not to have that a confirmed position, but it's more about the fact having somebody in place that's qualified, that's continuous, and not political.
Thank you.